Hey you, are you interested in soloing with chord tones? Well, I hope you said yes, because that's what this lesson is all about. What I'm going to do is to teach you a short little solo, and this solo is following the chords in the progression, which makes it sound really melodic. It's a whole different type of playing compared to just playing the pentatonic scale. It's all about chord tones. So let's dig straight into it. First of all, let's establish, what are chord tones? Well, simply put, they are the 1, 3, and 5 from the chord. So if we take C major, the first note, the root note, is 1, and then the third note is E, 1, 2, 3, the third note. So we have C, E, and then I have the fifth note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's G. So chord tones are typically 1, 3, 5. Right? However, they can also be 1, 3, 5, 7, and so on, depending on the chord. If you have a major 7 chord, the chord tones would be 1, 3, 5, 7. And then that continues, so you have 9, and so on, 11, 13. But in this little tune that I wrote, the chords are simple. There are no 7th chords or extensions or any kind of color like that. They're just plain vanilla chords. All right, so let's start with the first chord. The first chord is a C major chord. So the line I'm playing there is like this. So most of these notes are chord tones. We have G here, the 5th of C, then root note. Then this note is more of a passing note. I'm playing 1, 2, 3 from the scale. 1, 2, 3 chord tone, 5 chord tone, and 1 chord tone. So the only note that's not a chord tone in here is this one. But as you can hear, it's used as a vehicle to get me from 1 to 3. Da, 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 da. That creates the line, the phrase. And I'm highlighting the root note at the end. So that's the lick or line for the G major chord. So this note, it's like a lead-in note to the chord, because this note comes on the first beat for that chord. This one. But all of these notes are chord tones. That's the cool thing. If you look at it from perspective of G major, we have the 5th here. We have the 3rd here. We have the root note here. We have the 5th here again. And we have the 3rd here. And there is actually one passing note or lead-in note. This one. It leads to, so I do a double stop there. One of those Hendrix embellishment things. I'm hitting both strings, but I'm hammering on with the ring finger. So you have the G major chord in here. Okay, so we have so far. And now the next chord is D minor. Now I'm going to be playing this. And those are mostly chord tones as well. I'm starting with, which is the 5th for D, then root note. Now this is the passing note, the 2nd, to go to the 3rd. Here's the 3rd. And then I'm bending into the 5th. So the chord tones would be, and we have those notes in there. We just have that 2nd in between. So we can hang on that note if we want and let the next chord come in if we want, because it fits perfectly as well, which is F major. But what I'm doing there for F, I'm playing. So that's also, of course, mostly chord tones. Still D minor, and then now we have moved to F. So the F comes on this note here. So now we're going into A minor, and here I'm going to be playing and that last note comes on the next chord. So I'm starting with these pickup notes, and here is where the chord comes in, and here I'm playing really strong chord tones, the A minor triad. And then this note comes on the next chord, G. One more time. And here is where the next chord comes. G major. And you can really hear the chord tones in here. So I'm finishing from the A minor with this. And then this is the 5th for G major. Back to the, so I'm bending a half step here and then releasing to come back on the major 3rd for G. Root note, and the 5th. You can hear the chord, right? And you want to add a bit of vibrato there too. When it's appropriate. If you hang on the note for a little bit, you want to usually have a little bit of vibrato. And as you can see, sometimes I use the whammy bar for a vibrato. Sometimes that's easier to get a clean vibrato than if you use your fingers, but it's preference. You know, you should try both. I think it's kind of cool to use the whammy bar sometimes, but not too much. So that's the G chord. And this triad backwards can be a little hard because it's mostly on one fret. So you want to try and use more than one finger for it. With one finger is really tricky. I wouldn't recommend that. And then we are going into the E minor chord. And then we're going to be playing this. So it sounds like the minor pentatonic, right? And it is. But we can also look at it as being a lot of chord tones in there. Let's take a look. So we're playing over E minor. So 1, 3, and 5, the chord tones are in here. The first two are root note and minor third. And then I'm bending up to the 5th. And playing the 5th again, and then root note, 5th, and minor third. Those are all chord tones. And then this fast triplet thing. Now that triplet lick that we just played, it's actually ending on the next chord F, like this. Right there is where the next chord comes. And at that point, I'm going to be playing this. Let's play it slowly. So let's play the E lick first. And that last note, it ends on the C major chord. It's the 5th for that chord. The note G. So there you go, soloing with chord tones. An extremely powerful approach. In fact, it's the secret to playing melodically. Except it's not much of a secret anymore, is it? Since I just told you. Now click the link in the YouTube description and you will get access to the tablature and the backing track for this little lesson. And if you want to really learn this stuff easily, you should consider joining Master Guitar Academy, because for my solos and my examples and licks and scales and everything, I have Sound Slice, which is a really, really cool technology that makes it possible to see the tablature on the screen at the same time as you see the video and my fingers on the fretboard. And you can slow down, you can speed up if it's too slow, you can loop sections. It makes it really, really easy to learn from. And that's available for members on Master Guitar Academy. So please let me know what you think of this lesson. Add a comment below, click that thumbs up, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you don't miss out on my future videos. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you next time.